MYSUARA FM.
MYSUARA FM, Citra Generasi Informatif. Hai, hari ni kita masuk lagi ke dalam segmen Fun Friday with English bersama dengan cikgu yang disukai ramai. Hai Miss Wan.
Hai, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Miss Wan, how are you today?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. How are you, DJ Arin?
Alhamdulillah.
Cikgu sangat, DJ Arin.
I'm not cikgu, but you are cikgu.
Yes.
Okay.
Who knows one day?
Amin. Who? Me? Me become a cikgu. Maybe not a cikgu lah. Maybe
What?
Lecture maybe.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Wan, what our topic today?
Okay, so for today's topic, we'll be discussing more on diplomatic. This is quite interesting for me. Diplomatic English, but this is more in a business environment.
Diplomatic English.
Yes.
Okay, dia macam-macam bunyi keluar kat sini. Okay. Diplomatic English, Miss Wan?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain to us what is about the topic?
Okay, so for today, we're going to look at several techniques of softening the message. All right. Speaking of softening the message, there are a few things. There are a few words, magic words that we can use, like, I'm afraid. Okay, you can start your sentence with "so sorry," "I'm so sorry," you apologize first. And you can start with, to be honest, unfortunately, things like "with all respect." Okay, and because this will affect the tone of our language in English. And so, for today's discussion, we will explore a few more techniques. Okay, I'm giving you a few techniques, 4 techniques altogether. Okay, that will come in handy when you are communicating with colleagues, clients, or your superiors in a business environment, or even in your everyday life. All right, who knows? This is not only applicable for those who are in business line. It can also be applied by us, by you, by me, in my education line, by you in your DJing.
Yeah. Okay, so kita rehat dulu because after this we will continue our discussion with Miss Wan.
Stay tuned.
MYSUARA FM, Citra Generasi Informatif. Okay, Miss Wan, we continue our topic, diplomatic English, is it?
Yeah, diplomatic English in a business environment. Okay, so let's start with the first technique. Okay, but beforehand, let's say I'm giving you a sentence. I'm sharing.
I hate it.
I'm sharing. No, I'm not giving you. I'm not going to ask you questions today. Okay. I'm going to say a sentence, okay? I'm going to read a sentence which our boss or clients probably will not want to hear. Okay, for example, boss, you're my boss, Arin. Boss, there will be a delay in the completion of our project. Okay, how would you feel if I say that to you?
You want me feel? Ulang balik.
Okay.
Tadi tak feel sekarang.
Tak ada feel. Okay, boss. There will be a delay in the completion of the project, boss.
Why?
Are you happy or not, boss?
Of course I'm not.
Okay, so the speaker, I have made no attempt here to soften. Soften means, macam melembutkan ayat tu lah. To soften the negative contents of the message. Is it negative or not, boss?
Yes.
Negative lah, because
we delay.
Yeah.
I hate the word delay.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't like, everybody will not like the word delay.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially when it comes to project, since they are making money. So when there is a delay in the project, which means there are a delay in the money making. All right.
Yeah.
To soften the negative content of the message. So a more diplomatic and polite version might look something like this. Okay. What if I say this sentence? There might be slight delay in the completion of the project, boss.
Even slight still have a delay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's okay lah.
Yeah,
Okay
kan?
lah. As long as jadi lah.
Jadi, but only slight. There's a
Yeah,
difference,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there are actually two words added to the sentence.
Mhm.
The first word is might, mungkin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another word is slight.
Slightly.
Yeah. So we have
Sedikit lah.
but not sure how the degree. Just that the word slight is there lah. We have added just two words in the sentence.
Mhm.
All right. But we have made it considerably more diplomatic. This is what we call diplomatic
Mhm,
sentence.
mhm.
Okay, first we have added the modal verb might.
Mhm.
Tadi ada might.
Mhm.
A technique we discuss, and the second one is the qualifier.
Qualifier.
Qualifier slight. Slight, the word slight is actually a qualifier.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what is qualifier? Okay, qualifier. Okay. I told you I'll not ask you questions. I will answer it myself.
Yes.
Qualifiers are words,
Mhm.
okay, used to modify other words. Kita nak modify the words.
Mhm.
Okay. So, the word have been modified here is the word slight and
Mhm.
delay.
Slight.
Slight actually modify the word delay. Okay. So, and they increase or decrease the quality signified by those words.
Mhm.
Okay. So here are a simple example. Another one.
Mhm.
It's very hot.
Mhm.
It's very hot. It's different, right? When I say, oh, it's hot.
Mhm.
It's very hot.
Very hot. Yes, of course. When you put
yeah.
the words of very.
Yeah, there's some quality added to it.
Mhm.
All right. So here, the qualifier in the sentence is the word
Mhm.
very. That's the qualifier. So the qualifier modifies the word hot.
Hot.
Yeah.
Okay, no need to use very.
No, we have to use the
very.
no, it shows that the word very here, it has its own function here.
Okay.
It actually increases the
Mhm.
quality.
Mm-hmm.
Increases the quality. Yeah.
Mhm.
If we use qualifiers to decrease the quality of a word, they make great softness.
Mm-hmm.
That's why kita kena pakai buka baju je pakai softener. Softener.
Cake pun pakai juga
also.
softener.
Yeah, you're a baker. That's why you know. Yeah, sentence. A few words in our sentence also need to be softened too. And this is what makes diplomatic English.
Mhm.
All right, and words used to soften the tone of our contents. This is actually to soften the tone of our contents
Mhm.
or convey politeness.
Mhm.
Tujuannya is to convey politeness when we speak. Kita nak sounds, to be more polite.
Mhm.
Okay, sounds more proper so
Mhm.
that people can accept it differently.
Mhm.
Kan,
Mhm.
And other examples of qualifiers that can make great softeners are a little.
Mhm.
Macam tadi kan slight,
Mhm.
okay, a bit,
Mhm.
a little bit,
Mhm.
slightly, small. Or
Mhm.
you can also say it like 102. We have 102 problems, sir.
Mhm.
Sebenarnya banyak.
102
102
sangat.
problem, and consider using these alternative structures when giving your boss or your client some bad news.
Mhm.
Bila nak sampaikan bad news ni, we have to really pick our words.
Mhm.
Okay, for example, instead of saying we are having problems with the new product, boss, the boss will be speechless.
Memanglah especially problem with our product.
Yeah.
That's a terrible.
Okay, but instead you can say it this way. Oh, well, we are having 1 or 2 problems with the new product.
1 or 2 consider okay
So the
lah.
boss will be nak marah pun dia akan delay sikit.
1 or 2.
Or okay, you instead of saying we will run over budget, this is the boss telling the employees,
Oh my god.
we will run over budget. So everybody will be scared, isn't it? But things will be different if the boss say it like, we might run slightly over budget. We might run slightly over budget. So the calm situations will probably still be there.
Okay, Miss Wan.
Alright.
Kita rehat dulu dan
Okay.
Dengarkan dulu lagu ini di MYSUARA FM. Selepas ni kembali lagi Fun Friday with English with me and Miss Wan, Solihah di MYSUARA FM. MYSUARA FM, Citra Generasi Informatif. Okay, Miss Wan, we continue.
All right. So, to all listeners who have just joined us for today's slot, Fun Friday with English slot, I am actually discussing the techniques on how to come out with diplomatic English, on how to speak diplomatic English. So, for the first session just now, we have already discussed on the first technique was to use the qualifiers. To the functions of qualifiers is to modify the words. Okay, for example, this is something that I repeat, DJ Arin. Okay, for example, there will be a delay in the completion of the project, and then we can say there might be a slight delay in the completion of the project. Okay, moving on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. The second technique that I'm going to introduce is negative question forms. Apa tu? Negative questions forms. Maksudnya, we change from the statements ayat penyata to a questions form. Okay. This is another way that we can make our English more diplomatic by using negative questions when we want to make a suggestion, especially. Ni bila you nak suggest apa-apa, because it is not actually, in our everyday life, it is not that everyone can accept suggestions, isn't it? Especially at workplace. Okay. So, to sound more diplomatic, probably we can come up with negative questions form. For example, you might want to say, we should redesign the company logo. Okay, as usual, you are my boss, Arin, so I say, boss, I think we should redesign the company logo. So
why?
Why?
What happened with the
boss
logo?
Not happy already.
I can design that logo,
That's why. That is why we have to really pick up our words. Speak our words. All right. Okay. And this, we should redesign the company logo. It sounds quite forceful, macam agak memaksa, and direct. And you'd probably want to avoid this when speaking to a superior or a client, superior boss, like you. And a more indirect version sounds like this. Boss, shouldn't we redesign the company logo? Shouldn't. Pun rasa patut tak kita nenek?
Why?
Okay, so it's more like here we have taken a forceful sounding statement and turn it into an indirect suggestion by adding not and changing the syntax and to make it into a negative questions. Typically, we use shouldn't, wouldn't, and couldn't. Macam tak boleh ke bos kalau kita buat macam ni? This is how it sounds in bahasa Malay, in bahasa Melayu, to form this type of questions. And a few examples here. Okay, for example, instead of saying I think we must hire a new advertising agency. It's more like you asking the boss to do something. All right. So instead of saying that, we might probably put it this way. Boss, couldn't we hire a new advertising agency? So boss mau rasa lain sikit. Okay. Ataupun, boss, wouldn't it be better to hire a new advertising agency? Okay. So always come up with negative question forms. That is one of the techniques.
Okay, so kita berehat dulu. Selepas ni kita akan bersama dengan Miss Wan Solihah. Okay, living next door to Alice membawakan kita ke jam 10.38 pagi. Okay, Miss Wan, jom.
Okay. All right. Okay, moving on to the next techniques. Okay, previously we have discussed two techniques. The first one is qualifiers. Okay, which we modify the word, like delay. Instead of saying delay, we say slight delay. And then for the second techniques that we have discussed is we use,
Wouldn't.
What? Wouldn't?
Couldn't.
We use,
couldn't, right?
We use negative questions forms like couldn't, wouldn't. Correct. Okay. Instead of saying, "Oh, boss, I think we should redesign the company logo." So instead of you saying that, we can say, "Boss, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we redesign the company logo?" So it sounds like, ada kebersamaan kat situ. It's like you and him together, deciding on things. So that would be better. It sounds so diplomatic there. All right. For the next techniques that I'm going to share is using the past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. So here we play with the tenses.
So grammar.
So grammatically. All right, so technical, right? So this is another way to make a sentence less direct and more diplomatic, okay, by using the past continuous tense. All right. I give you an example. Boss, I hope we can sign the contract today. Okay, you are expressing your wish, what you want. I hope we can sign the contract today. Okay, and what is suggested by this technique is you might probably can change it to, I was hoping that we could sign the contract today. I was hoping. It sounds, it sounds more polite.
Before it's like an order.
Yeah, it's more like, I hope we can sign. Okay, you are clearly expressing, your hope, which is it has strong sense there. So using the past continuous tense, it makes the sentence sounds more hypothetical and tentative, and therefore it sounds less direct and is a great technique for injecting diplomacy and politeness. Kan bunyi macam sopan kan? And politeness into your English. So here are a few more examples. Instead of saying, I think we need to hire more employees. I think, okay, just like was I hope. This is I think. I think we need to hire more employees. Instead of saying that, you can put it this way. Well, I was thinking we need to hire more employees. I was thinking. Okay, so there's an injection of diplomacy and politeness. And also, instead of saying, I aim to finish the project by the end of the month. I aim. Okay, I aim to finish the project by the end of the month. All right, so that sounds very direct. We can probably put it this way. Well, I was aiming to finish the project by the end of the month. I was aiming. Okay, that is how we use, past continuous tense in our English to make it more diplomacy and polite.
Okay, jom kita berehat dulu. Dengarkan dulu lagu ini daripada Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive.
I Will Survive.
Untuk Miss Wan.
My favorite song.
Okay, MYSUARA FM. MYSUARA FM, Citra Generasi Informatif. Okay, Miss Wan, we just left 15 minutes.
Oh really? Okay, forgot to on. Oh really? We have just 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay, never mind. Alright, so
that's why lah, bila Miss Wan masuk konti je macam jealous.
Cik.
What to do?
Time is running out, eh?
Yeah,
I love that song. Time is running out. Could you please play that song after this? Muse.
Time is running out, eh? Okay.
Alright. So anyway, for the last techniques on how to sound more diplomatic, okay, in using your English, the last techniques that I'm going to share is using the passive voice.
Passive voice,
passive
okay.
voice. Okay, right? Passive voice. Passive voice means contoh. Let's say in Malay, in bahasa Melayu, we say saya memecahkan pasu bunga. That is active voice.
Saya
memecahkan pasu bunga. Because,
tone down, is it?
Yeah, because I do it. So itu I active. Okay, to make it passive, pasu bunga itu dipecahkan oleh saya. Saya kat belakang. Okay, dipecahkan. So obviously that's a passive voice. Alright. So according to these techniques, okay, the last one, okay, the passive voice, okay, is actually a great way to make your sentences sound more diplomatic. Okay, because why? Okay. Let discuss. Let's say if I say, Arin, you have broken my computer. The dia speechless. You have broken my computer. Yeah, it's more like an accusation, isn't it?
Yes.
Tak diplomasi langsung. All right, and this
I
active,
don't.
and that is an active voice, active sentence.
Mhm.
Active, maksudnya you have broken my computer. It's a you who do that. So I point out it's a you who do that. Okay, so this active voice sentence is brutally direct, very direct. And if your aim is to avoid confrontation, then you might consider using the passive voice to lessen the emotional impact of the sentence.
Mhm.
All right, so what we can do is, instead of saying you have broken my computer, probably we can say it this way: my computer has been broken.
Mhm.
My computer has been broken. You tak ada kan?
Mhm. So dia tak tuduh siapa-siapa pun kat situ.
Yeah, that is the reason why we use passive voice here. Here we are removing the subject you from the sentence completely, okay, and focusing on the object, on the computer, and the action. Okay, and the effect here is to de-emphasize personal responsibility. Okay, we don't want to accuse anyone here. Okay, that's why we de-emphasize personal responsibility for the action. Okay, let's have a look at a few more examples, of diplomatic sentences using the passive voice that we have. All right. You said, Arin, you said you were going to sign the deal today. Okay, Arin, you said you were going to sign the deal today. Arin, you kata you nak sign agreement hari ni. You kata. So that's a bit of, a very direct, tone to very direct. But instead of that, okay, instead of saying it that way, you can probably put it this way: Arin, it was understood that you were going to sign the deal today. It was understood. Wah,
Saya difahamkan.
saya
something like that.
difahamkan bahawa kamu. So, so it sounds very diplomatic, and the injection of diplomacy and politeness is there. Okay, and another example I can give here is, well, Arin, you agreed to lower your fees. Okay, you agreed to lower your fees. Okay, let's say this is something that you talk to an owner of an institution, for example. Oh well, Mr. Kamal, you agreed to lower your fees. Okay, so instead of saying that, we might probably want to put it this way: well, Mr. Kamal, it was agreed that you were going to lower your fees. Okay, so it's different. Okay, sometimes to me, like when it comes to English, the longer the sentence, okay, we can actually modify it to be more polite. For example, please do this for me. Please do this for me.
So,
You nak minta tolong. You want to ask for help. You want to ask, someone's doing a favor for you, but suddenly you just straight away say, please do this for me. To me, that is very improper. Okay, improper, and but probably instead of saying it that way, we can put it this way: well, Arin, if possible, if you don't mind, could you please do this for me? Okay, so we make the sentences longer, right? Well, if possible, if you don't mind, could you please, instead of can you, we can say could you please. The word could actually brings the injection of politeness. Could, would.
okay. All right. So thank you, Miss Wan. So how about next week?
Okay, for the next week, we'll talk more on not really grammar. Okay, I know you don't really like, the technical things.
I hate it. But cannot use hate. What the positive word?
You are improving. I wanted to say it to you since last slot. Instead of saying hate, I hate learning about grammar. For example, you might probably want to say, oh well, I prefer. You straight away say what you want. I prefer. Okay, Miss Wan, I think I prefer learning more on communicative learning. For example, how to come out. I think people like you don't really want to go on technical stuff like learning grammar in isolation. I can read you somehow. So you are someone who want to learn English in a context. Yes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you will be having more fun if you can learn English, in a communicative, communicative English we call it.
Because saya sangat memerlukannya.
Because you can straight away apply it in your, DJing stuff and all. Okay, it will help you a lot in your career. I can see it.
Okay, so Miss Wan, thank you.
Alright, thank you very much.
Dan terima kasih juga kepada anda pendengar-pendengar MYSUARA FM yang sudi mendengarkan kami pagi ini. Dan lebih-lebih lagi dalam segmen Fun Friday with English. InsyaAllah minggu depan kita akan bersama lagi di MYSUARA FM, Citra Generasi Informatif.